you tell them one thing. Just win, baby.
Raider Nation, I'm your host, Samoan Raider, and let's get right into your latest roster news. According to Vic Tafur, the Raiders have cut defensive lineman / defensive tackle Kendall Vickers. Well, I guess you could say Jeremy Cook can finally rock that number 93. It's kind of crazy because, when Yannick Ngakoue got signed, he punked them for that number 91, and when Jeremy McCoy got signed, he was saying that he wanted that number 93, and the only way you could get it is by letting Kendall Vickers go. In all honesty, I seen this coming. I called it on Graphics Live show just a couple of days ago when we were going over the final 53-man roster, especially with all the depth that we have on this defensive line, and I've told you guys so many times before, Kendall Vickers seemed to be the odd man now, especially knowing that he was rocking that number 93. Ooh-wee. This dude Vickers has not had any type of luck. I do hope that he does clear waivers and at least joins our practice squad, because I do believe that Vickers, is a valuable depth piece on this roster, especially on the defensive line, and if any of these guys do go down and we need somebody to call, we could call up Kendall, you know what I mean? Coming into last year, he had a solid season with the Raiders, playing in 15 games, having 10 total tackles, 2 sacks, 3 tackles for loss, and 3 quarterback hits. I've said this before, if you're looking at last year's roster, if we had last year's roster this year, Kendall Vickers would definitely make this roster because we wouldn't have any depth. But the depth that we do have on the team, I guess we had to chuck up the deuces to my boy Kendall Vickers. Now getting into some surprising news, the Raiders went out and cut former first-round pick safety Karl Joseph, according to Vincent B in The Place to Be. Now, to be honest with you guys, I did not see this coming at all. It was great to see Karl Joseph back in the silver and black, especially providing depth in the secondary right behind Jonathan Abram. I thought he would have made this team, but I guess the Raiders didn't think he was good enough to make the final 53. He did miss some time due to injuries, but he made it just in time to be healthy for the 49ers game, in which he played quite a lot. I don't know if it was a sign, a good or bad sign for him, because, the Raiders wanted to see if he was actually that good. But I believe Karl Joseph played real well in that game, having 7 total tackles, 1 tackle for loss, and 1 pass deflection. In all honesty, this was shocking news to me. I don't care what anybody else has to say. I did believe that Karl Joseph did provide some depth on this roster. But another guy that's actually going to be making the roster over Karl Joseph is safety Roderick Teamer. Now, there was reports going around that Teamer was informed that he made the final 53-man roster. As much as I do think that Teamer had a solid preseason, I would have still kept Karl Joseph over this guy. But I do believe that his connection with Gus Bradley ultimately is the reason why he made this team. There also has been some reports that Dallin Leavitt even made the roster himself. Leavitt might not be the best safety out there, but I guess he was good enough on special teams to make a roster spot as a gunner. I guess, right? What the hell? Now, another prediction that I did call was the Raiders cutting wide receiver Dylan Stoner. According to Levi Damon, he tweeted, "Raiders waiving undrafted rookie wide receiver Dylan Stone per source. A return to practice squad is very likely." And I gotta agree with my boy Levi, because if he does clear waivers, I do believe that he'll make this practice squad most definitely. I mean, he had a solid showing against the 49ers as well, having 3 receptions on 6 targets for 69 yards. And if and when they let go of DJ Turner, our wide receiver room will be set with Henry Ruggs, Brian Edwards, Hunter Renfrow, John Brown, Willie Snead, and last but not least, Zay Jones. But as surprised as I am by a couple of these moves, especially that Karl Joseph move, Vincent B in The Place to Be brought up a good point, tweeting, "Remember, Raider cuts. You figure 2, maybe 3 guys start the season on IR. But to start them there, they first have to be on the final 53. So some guys that are getting cut could be back once they clear waivers, and the injured players get moved to IR." So after reading that, I do got some optimism. Maybe Karl Joseph could possibly be back on the roster. Who knows? And just when you thought the Raiders were done, no. They cut 3 more players trying to get this roster down to 53. Those players being offensive guard Lester Cotton, fullback Garrett Groshek, and cornerback Bleedy Ray Wilson. Now, out of these 3 names, I'm not surprised at all. Lester Cotton, I've told you guys, I know some people said that we would have kept him because of that Alabama connection, but that guy was a liability out there on the offensive line as well. Now, the Raiders got 2 more cuts that they need to make, which is Omame and Jared Jones-Smith, because those other 2 are pretty trash as well. But as far as Bleedy Ray Wilson and Garrett Groshek, I'm not really too surprised by this. Well, damn. I guess I was wrong about one player, and that is wide receiver John Brown. Now, I did not see the Raiders cutting this guy at all because I didn't think that they gave him enough chances out there, or even give him the opportunity to go out there and show himself. I know he played in only 2 games, didn't really play too much, and in this last game, the 49ers game, which was a worthless game for the Raiders, he actually played that first drive against the 49ers, which had a lot of people confused, like, yo, if he's a starter, or if this guy's gonna make the roster, why is he playing in this useless game? And I didn't see the Raiders cutting him because they didn't give him enough chances. But I guess John Brown actually asked for his release, which is surprising to me. This is a guy that came in, we paid him the money to come in. I know we got him on a cheap deal, which was a really big steal for the Raiders, and I thought he was going to do big things for the Raiders, especially filling in that Nelson Aguilar role, but I guess not. He also worked out with Derek Carr all offseason before we even had practices and OTAs and whatnot, but I guess another one bites the dust. To be honest, I'm not too worried about this. I don't know what else went on behind the scenes, but with all the roster cuts going around the league, you know, a lot of teams are going to try to get their roster down to 53, and I know there's going to be a lot of wide receiver depth out there if we don't want to keep a guy like DJ Turner on the roster. I feel like the Raiders, if they did want to bring in another guy, they could wait after the final 53s from each and every one of these teams to see who's out there. So with that being said, Raider Nation, what do you guys think about the latest roster cuts so far, and who else do you guys think will be cut getting this roster down to 53? Let me know down in the comments below. All right, Raider Nation, that is all I have for you guys today right now on this video, because I might come out with a little bit more videos once the final 53 is finally out. If you guys enjoyed the video, don't forget to smash that like button, and if you guys love the Las Vegas Raiders and you guys want to watch daily Raider content, then look no further. Hit that subscribe button, hit that notification icon button just to notify you guys when I upload more videos just like this. Until then, this is your boy Some More Raider, and your boy is yeah.
And you tell them one thing. Just win, baby.